أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين إلهي آمين. Okay, so now we will start inshallah ta'ala the Arabic alphabet. We were, last time in last class, we have discussed different huruf tahajji, the Arabic alphabets, and we were doing the practice and learning how to pronounce these letters. So now, inshallah ta'ala, I will quickly go through all these, and then inshallah we will try to finish today we will try to finish all the letters inshallah bismillah. So let's start. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So yeah, the first letter, which is a straight line, it's called alif. Then ba is like a boat with one dot at the bottom. So this is called ba. Ba is something sound like B. Yeah, it's very easy to pronounce. Then the next letter is ta. How you will recognize this letter? Ta is like a boat with two dots on top of it. Then ta. Ta is easy also. The next letter is ta. Ta is sometimes it's difficult to pronounce because don't have any similar sound with like this. So how you will recognize this letter? It has a boat with three dots on top of it. And then how you will pronounce this letter? Your tip of the tongue touches the edge of your upper teeth, edges of your upper teeth. So you will say that. You have to your tongue will come out, and then your tip of the tongue will touch the edges of your front teeth, and then you will pronounce this letter tha. What you have to remember when you are while pronouncing the letter tha, that this is a soft letter. There shouldn't be any whistling sound in that in pronunciation of this letter. So tha. Then the next letter is Jeem. How you will recognize this letter? So it has a straight line and a C, a straight line with C and dot in between. A straight line with C and a dot in between. So this is called Jeem. The sound of Jeem is just like J, right? Jug, jump. So ja. Then the next letter is ha. Ha is again same like Jeem, like a straight line and a C, but it doesn't have any dot, right? And it has a sound of like spicy hot sound, right? Like when you eat something hot, so how you will do it? So this is a spicy hot sound, right? So you can memorize this in this way. So ha. Okay. Then the next letter is ha. Ha is again a straight line with a C and a dot on top of it. A straight line and a C and a dot on top of it. So this is called ha. What you will recognize this letter in this way, like a straight line with a C and dot on top of it. And how you will pronounce this letter? So always remember that this letter has some scratching sound, a little snoring sound, kind of. You can say like yeah, ha, right? And again, what you have to remember while pronouncing the letter ha, this is an awesome letter. This is a heavy letter, awesome letter, right? And what you have to remember while pronouncing the heavy letters, like your back of the tongue should remain elevated, right? This is the letter ha, and you can see that the back of your tongue will remain elevated while pronouncing the letter ha. And from where you will pronounce this letter, your upper throat will involve in pronouncing the letter ho, and it has again a snoring sound, or you can say a scratchy sound, right? So ho is very easy, like ha, sorry, jim, ha, and ho are kind of similar, has kind of similar shape. These three letters have similar shapes, and you can memorize, or you can recognize these letters like a straight sign with C. So jim has a dot in between, ha would empty, and ho has dot on top of it, right? And ho has some scratching sound, right? So now we will move to the next letter, that is dal. Dal, right? So how dal is how you will recognize this letter. First, we will learn that. So dal is, you can say that it's a mouth of a Pac-Man. Mouth of a Pac-Man, right? It has a shape of a mouth of a Pac-Man. And how you will pronounce this letter, like your tip of the tongue touches the back of your upper gums, or back of your upper teeth. Not back of your gums, you can say back of your upper teeth, right? And you will pronounce the letter dal, dal. When you will pronounce this letter, then don't pronounce it like D. Like there is no D sound in dal. It's dal, the, the, right? How you say the book, the boy, right? So this is the sound of dal, the. So next is dal, dal. Dal is again like Pac-Man, mouth of Pac-Man, but it has a dot on top of it. And again, this is a soft letter, like tha, like tha. So your tongue, tip of the tongue touches the edge of the upper teeth. Your tip of the tongue touches the edge of your upper teeth. So you will pronounce this letter. You have to take out your tongue little bit, and then your tip of the tongue touches the edges of your front two teeth, and then you will pronounce this letter very softly. There is no buzzing sound, no sound, right? So dal, 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 right? So you will pronounce this letter very softly, okay? So, and this is a light letter. This is a light letter. So dal, dal, and dal. Again, the next letter is raw, raw. So raw is like, you have to memorize this letter, that how, like its shape. It's a little bit different kind of shape, you can say. And, but it has a sound of R, right? Rabbit, rat. Okay, so how you will pronounce this letter, your tip and top of your tongue touches the roof of your mouth, or you can say the back of your roof of your mouth, right? So don't use your lips to pronounce this letter, right? As we say, Robert, rolling, raw, raw. The fish is raw. So this is the sound of raw, right? So R-A-W you can say. So you can pronounce this letter is raw, raw, okay? Then the next letter is za, za. It's same like, its shape is same like raw, but it has a dot on top of it. And za is easy to pronounce, that like it has a buzzing sound, right? It has a buzzing sound, like we are saying zipper, zipper, right? So za, 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 okay? And how you will pronounce this letter, that your upper and lower teeth join together, and your tip of the tongue touches the bottom teeth, behind of your, or back of your bottom teeth, right? So you will pronounce za, za, okay? The next letter is seen, seen. Za and seen share the same makhraj, or you can say that they're pronouncing, we can pronounce this letter from the same place, right? How you will pronounce in the z, there is a small difference in pronunciation, but there, the place where you will create the voice, it would remain same, right? So seen has sharp whistling kind of sound, right? And how you will pronounce these letters, like this letter, like you will join your upper and lower teeth together, and then your tip of the tongue touches the bottom teeth, right? So seen, and it has sharp whistling sound, right? Seen, seen. So now the next, you can memorize the scene. You can recognize, like, scene. How you can recognize it? It has. You can see the W with yeah, it's a small W, you can say, and you with a hook, you can say, like the W and a hook attached with it. So you will recognize this letter in this sense. And then how you will pronounce this letter, like it's a type of S sound, right? Summer, right? Saw, see. So you can pronounce seen in this way. The next letter is sheen. And how you will recognize this letter? Sheen is W with the hook at the end, but it has 3 dots on top of it, right? And it has SH sound, SH, right? You can write here SH sound, sheen, sheen, right? The next letter is sod, sod. How you will pronounce this letter? Your tip of the tongue touches the bottom teeth. Again, you have to join your upper and lower teeth together, and your tip of the tongue will touches the bottom of your lower teeth. So you will say this letter saw, like nail, hammer, and saw, S-A-W, right? How you will pronounce saw, S-A-W. So you will say saw, saw. So, and you shouldn't, your lips shouldn't make O. You are not supposed to Oing your lips while pronouncing the swad. Swad, how you will pronounce that your upper and lower teeth join together, and your tip of the tongue touches the back of your lower teeth. And swad is again an awesome letter, a heavy letter. So you can see that back of the tongue remains elevated while pronouncing the letter swad, swad, okay? And swad is again an awesome letter or heavy letter, right? Then the letter bod, bod. How you will pronounce this letter is just like swad, but you can say that it has a dot on top of it. And it is a kind of a little bit difficult letter while pronouncing bod. How you will pronounce it, like you can see here that side of the tongue touches the upper side teeth, or the entire tongue touches the roof of the mouth, right? So try to pronounce this letter bod, bo, bo, right? You can pronounce this letter from one side, or you can use both of your sides with the side of your tongue, right? The sound that is produced doesn't exist in any other language, right? So it is like how you would recognize this letter. It is just like sword with dot on it. And but remember, there would be no D or Z sound, okay? How you will pronounce this letter? Take side of your tongue to touches the molar teeth. No movements of lips involved. Take your side of your tongue, touches the upper molar teeth. So say bod, 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 right? Now, the next letter is paw, paw, right? How you will recognize this letter? You can say that fish with a line that comes out of it. Fish with a line that comes out of it. So how you will pronounce this letter? Tip of the tongue touches the upper gum, right? Tip of the tongue touches the upper gum, and you will pronounce the letter paw, paw. Thaw is again an awesome letter, right? So you can see that your back of the tongue remains elevated, and then you will pronounce this letter. Whenever I'm saying that awesome letters, that means it is a heavy letter. And there is a rule in pronouncing these letters that you have to elevate back of your tongue area, right? Your lips will not involve while pronouncing thaw and wa, any heavy letter, right? So you are not supposed to make O from your lips, but how you say, like as I told you before, that as we are saying awesome, awesome. When you are saying awesome, just check the shape of your lips, right? So your lips will remain in the same shape while pronouncing any heavy letter or an awesome letter, right? And then you will pronounce these letters. So thaw and wa. Again, the next letter is wa. Wa. You can see here. It's just like thaw, like a fish with a line that comes out of this. But this is again a soft letter. Your tip of the tongue touches the edge of your upper teeth, and then you will pronounce this letter va. Va. Va is a soft letter. There is no Z or any buzzing sound in it, and you have to pronounce it softly. Wa, and wa is again a heavy letter, so your tongue will remain elevated. Okay, so and you can see in two pictures, you can see the difference between an awesome letter and a thin letter, right? You can see when I said that it is a wa is an awesome letter, right? So awesome letter means your back of the tongues will remain elevated, but in thin letters, your tongue will remain relaxed and there is no elevation in this while pronouncing these letters, right? So wa is a soft letter, and then we will go to the next letter, that is ayn. Ayn. How you will pronounce this letter ayn? So ayn has two C's, right? One is a small, one is big. How you will recognize this letter? It's like two C's, right? And what is the place where you can pronounce the letter ayn? So you can see in this picture. So you can see that the middle part of your throat, you have to pronounce this letter from the middle part of your throat, and no tongue involvement, no lips involvement. And you have to remember that lift, don't push. When you are pronouncing this letter, lift, don't push. So ayn, ah, 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 ayn, ayn, right? It is a kind of difficult letter in pronunciation, but inshallah, as you will practice it, practice and practice and practice, then it would be easier for you. And by listening the sound of ayn during the recitation, then it would be easy to pronounce these letters, right? Especially ayn. Okay, so ayn, two C's, and then your throat will remain involved in pronouncing this letter. Middle part of your throat, you have to involve middle part of your throat. Your tongue will remain relaxed, and there would be no elevation, nothing. Okay, so now after ayn, there is a letter ghain. Ghain. Ghain is again a 2C. You can see that ghain is also like a 2C's, but it has one dot on it, right? So ghain, how you will pronounce this letter? You can see that this letter is the upper part of your throat will involve in pronouncing this letter ghain. How you will pronounce this, how you will recognize this letter? There would be two C's and one dot on it, okay? And how you will pronounce these letters, just like a sound of gargling, like and when you do gargle, so gargle of your mouth. So ghain, wa, fa, wa, right? So this is top here, how you will pronounce this letter. Just involve top of your throat, and then you will pronounce this letter. And you have to remember that this is also an awesome letter. And whenever I will say the awesome letters, that means your back of your tongue should remain elevated. Okay, so oin, oin, wa. Now the next letter is pa. Pa is just like F sound, right? Of, pa, pa. How you will pronounce this letter? Upper T touching the lower lips. Okay, how you will pronounce this letter? So your upper teeth touches the lower lips, inside of your lower lips, the wet part of your lower lips. Okay, so pa, pa. It has F sound. Okay, so you can remember this with this, and then the next letter is lam. Oh, sorry. Next letter is off. Next letter is off. How you will pronounce the off? Your back of the tongue touches the uvula. You know about the uvula, which part is uvula of your throat. You can check from your tongue. Just check your upper roof of your mouth. With the help of your tongue, you can check the roof of your mouth. So you will find that there are two portions of your palate or mouth, roof of your mouth, that one is hard and one is soft, right? And the soft area where you can see the uvula, it's called uvula. Near the uvula is a soft palate, right? What is uvula? There is a hanging body in your throat, right? Where you will get sometimes tonsils or some things, right? So this is called uvula. So how you will pronounce the letter of? Your back of your tongue touches the soft part of your upper of your roof of your mouth, right? Or you can say the soft palate. Try to touch it. Did you get my point, sisters? Please write it, and let me know. Do you know about the uvula and what I'm talking about, the soft area? Did you get that point? Please type 1 if you get it. Yeah, if you okay, good, alhamdulillah. So now how you will pronounce this letter? Back of your tongue touches the soft part of your palate, and then you will pronounce off, 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 right? You can see the picture. Yeah. So back of the tongue touches the soft palate of your soft palate of your mouth, and then you will pronounce the letter off. And cough is also an awesome letter. So obviously it would be easy to pronounce in this way because your tongue will already your tongue is elevated, right? So there's no more efforts. Especially there's no need to put extra efforts, but you have to remember that don't make your lips shouldn't make O sound. Okay, so again, awesome letters. So your lips would be in awesome shape. Okay, and your back of your tongue remains elevated, and you will pronounce off, 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 off. So this is called cough, and then the next letter is calf. You can see that they wrote these letters 2 ways. Sometimes you can find this letter in this shape and sometimes in this shape. Okay, so both letters are same. They're in writing, their shape sometimes kind of different. So always remember this letter is calf, calf, and calf is just like cake, kite, kind, right? So this is the sound of calf. And how you will pronounce this letter. So now your back of your tongue touches the hard palate. Back of your tongue touches the hard palate of your mouth, and then you will say ka, cake, candle, calf, 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 right? So how you will pronounce this letter? Calf. Next is lam, lam. Yeah. So lam, it's very easy. Like it has an L sound, right? But you have to use your tongue. Tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. So you can say al, say al. So you can find that how your tongue touches the back of your upper teeth. So in this way, you will pronounce lam. It has L sound, right? Lam, la, lam, right? Then meme, meme. How you will pronounce this letter means like your dry part of your lips joined together, and then you will say the letter me. You can see its shape. It's me, ma, ma, right? So, and then the next letter is noon, noon, na, N sound, right? It is very easy to pronounce, but you have to memorize the shape, and sound is easy. It has N sound like na, noon, noon, afternoon, right? So this is the same sound as just like noon, okay? The next letter is wow. Wow, W-O-W. You can see, you can remember this letter with the sound of wow, right? What? So it has a W sound, right? So this is called wow. And then ha, ha. How you will pronounce this letter is the bottom of your throat. You can pronounce this letter from bottom of your throat. Ha, ha, right? Let air come out and you will pronounce this letter ha. And then Hamza. Hamza is just like Alif. It sounds like, same sounds like Alif. And this is called Hamza, half shape of Ain. And don't worry if you, when we will practice on alphabets, then you will, inshallah, it would be easy for you to recognize. And you will practice more and more, then you will, inshallah, recognize it very easily. And the last letter of Arabic alphabet is ya, ya. So, yeah, middle of your tongue touches the roof of the mouth. Like your tongue will not completely touch the roof of your mouth. It doesn't touch the roof of your mouth, but yeah, it will go near to the roof of your mouth. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So now, inshallah ta'ala, we will try to practice. And yeah, so now if you can see that all these 29 letters are here in this exercise. So what you have to remember, we will recite these letters together, inshallah, because we have learned, alhamdulillah, all letters. So you will read, inshallah, one by one. But all you have to remember here, you can get all the letters together in the sequence, right? So now always remember that there are 7 letters which are, we can say that those are an awesome letters, or sometimes you will get the term heavy letters, right? So there are 7 heavy letters, and you can see that these letters are highlighted with red color, like swad, kha, swad, dot, do, ghain, and qaf, right? And inshallah, when we will practice it, then inshallah, you will get used to of it, and you will pronounce it heavily, definitely. But there, you can see that there is raw with red color. So always remember, raw is a conditional letter. Sometimes you have to pronounce it heavily, and sometimes you have to pronounce it lightly. So we will read those things later, that where we have to pronounce it heavily and where lightly. So inshallah ta'ala, we will discuss it later. But now what you have to memorize right now, that there from that 28, 29 letters, there are 7 awesome letters, right? And those 7 awesome letters are ha, Sa, Ba, Ta, Da, Ghain, and Qaf. These are 7 awesome letters. And when you will pronounce these letters, the back of your tongue would remain elevated, and then you will, inshallah, pronounce these letters very easily. And there are 3 soft letters, right? 3 soft letters. Um, Inshallah ta'ala, I will highlight those letters. Those are Sa, then Zal, and Zo. These 3 letters are soft letters, right? So you have to pronounce these letters softly. How you will pronounce it, that your tip of the tongue will touches the edge of your front 2 teeth, and there is no buzzing or whistling sound in these 3 letters, okay? So hopefully you will memorize these 7 things, like 7 awesome letters and 3 soft letters. Okay, so let's do some practice, inshallah ta'ala. And how we will practice it, you can open your mic, and then you can try to read these letters, and then inshallah we will try to make some correction and something. Hajra, if you want, you can close the recording, and then inshallah we will start practicing these letters.